Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to call out 5 projects. I say I'm going to call out 5 projects that I think are going to do really well. Before we dig into those and have a look at 𝗕𝗙𝗪.io and the artificial intelligence and machine learning and see what that says and see if that's aligned to my thought process, we'll have a look at how well we did last week. So if you like this sort of video, then and you want to support the channel, mash up that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Tap that bell, select all those notifications so you never miss a video, just like RY just did just here. It's actually there even. Terrible. Right, let's get down to the desktop and have a look how well we did last week. Okay, so I did call out Harmony going to go on a tear, and if you're on our Twitter page, and you would have seen that I actually snipped the bit where I said that it will go on a tear like 𝗕𝗪𝗧𝗧. I don't think it has just yet, but it has been on a bit of a tear, right? And I did call that out for this week. I think Harmony are doing some amazing things. The community's great, all that sort of wonderful stuff. It's just literally as we're recording pulled back, so it was up at 31. I think it's been as high as 32 cent today, but when I was just sort of doing all the calculations, Harmony was up 38% from when I called it out last week. So when I called it out last week, it was at 0.2255, and at the time that I was doing the stats on it, it was at 0.3112. So it's just pulled back just ever so slightly. So it's about 38%. Bear in mind, I round down on all of these. It was probably a little bit higher, but yeah, 38% up for the week, which is fantastic. And it's so close to that first price point that Nick has called out of 33 cent. I do think it's going to get there. Some fantastic stuff happening in the background for Harmony. So if you're not invested in this one, do check it out. It's likely to go much higher than this in the long term. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. This is just my humble opinion and should be treated as educational purposes only.
Today's video has been sponsored by Cheeky Crypto, and specifically the Harmony 1 staking pool. If you are looking to support the channel and do not know how, the best way you can go about doing this is actually to go ahead and delegate your one holdings into the Cheeky 1 staking pool. By doing so, not only are you supporting the channel, but you're also providing yourself with a nice passive income on your crypto holdings. You'll get some very juicy returns hovering around the 10% APY, and this is a fantastic way to make your crypto work hard for you the way that you worked hard for your crypto. Guys, if you are looking to support the channel, why not delegate today to the Cheeky 1 staking pool with the Harmony 1 protocol?
Okay, moving on. So DAO Stack was the next one that I called out, which is the ticker GEN. This is at 0.06704 at the time of recording today, and it is up. So this was at 0.06562. So it's up. It's up over 2%, but I've rounded it down 2%. So it's not the biggest gainer, but as you can see, it has pulled back. So some of this, we see huge gains, but by the time I get to record it, it's changed slightly. And I mean, it's actually up since I did my my numbers. So fantastic, another one in the green. Okay, so moving on to the third one. So this is NPX. So at the time of recording, it was at 0.1677. So it is actually down. It's down about 22% for the week, which is unfortunate, right? And it's been much higher in the week, right? So if we go to here, where are we? I say it's been much higher. It really hasn't. Yeah, it went up to about 0.19. So it has been higher. But yeah, it's one of those. It's unfortunate that it's sort of dived down. However, I am going to look to keep this one in for the week because I do think it's going to do really well. And the reason why I think it's going to do really well is there's something in the artificial intelligence and machine learning that says this one's about to pop. So it might just be a case of bad timing. Maybe I was a week early. Maybe it's going to be this week. So I will be keeping this one in. I do expect it to do really, really well, right? So we're 2 out of 3 so far. Moving on, the next one that I called out was 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧. And at the time of recording, it was at $1.51. And it was up when I did my calculations at $1.58. So it's just dropped down a couple of cents, as you can see just here. It's typical when I do these things, but it was up about 4.5%. So let's just round it, further down and just say it was 4% up from last week. So we're 3 out of 4, so that's not too bad, right, for the week. Moving on, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧, again, another fantastic project. Probably it's been much higher throughout the day, and again, like I say, when I kind of come to do these recordings, everything sort of starts to fall, right? But still up even at this price. Okay, so again, much higher gains could have been made in the week. 0.3357, down 5.89% at the time of recording today. However, when I recorded last week, it was at 0.3224. So it's up just over 4%, even at this price here. For me, the price has increased since I did my calculation. So it's actually higher than 4%, but another 4% gain. So 4 out of 5 for last week. And I think this is it goes to show, right, that when we look at these projects, we're not just pulling projects out of the air. We are looking at these, right? We are looking at several different metrics. We're looking at the fundamentals. What have the projects got planned this week? What of the projects, what's the workload? Who's building on them? Is there any new projects? Are there any NFT drops? All these sorts of things we're looking at, and we talk to some of these teams as well. So we look at the artificial intelligence and machine learning at advice.io. So, just rest assured, it shouldn't come as a shock when we get 4 or 5 out of 5, right? Like, this should be something that's quite consistent. As long as obviously everything sort of falls in line. And sometimes timing is the hardest thing, right? We can be out on the timing, which is why I'm going to leave the NPX in for this week, right? So we already know what one of them is. And we'll go and have a look at the artificial intelligence and machine learning to see why I'm doing that, right? So, okay, let's sort of carry on. Let's call out the first project that we're going to call out for this week. And that is XPR. So this is at 0.04175 at the time of recording. It's down 0.01% today. So for me, it's in that sort of like buying area. It might dip a little bit further before it starts to come back up. For me, really like this programmable money that works, apparently. Not that I've used the system, but it looks like a good project. Lots of people calling it out. Lots of people very happy with the gains that they've made so far. And it does look like a pretty solid project. We're not going to be deep diving into these projects, what they are, what they do. Go over to CoinMarketCap, visit the website and start doing some research. If you've got any questions, drop into their Telegram groups, right? Like, that's what Nick and myself do. We try to talk to the teams direct on calls if we can. But if you can't do that, just ask questions in their Telegram group, right? So let's have a look at advice.io and the artificial intelligence and see what that's saying for XPR. So advice rating A2. So this is the highest rating that I've ever seen advice give out to any project. So it's up 2.28% for last week, which is fantastic. If we have a look at the details here, so we've got the Amihad ratio A2, the fear and greed index is A2, so people are greedy. There's not much fear when it comes to XPR. Sharp ratio is A2, profitability is A1, so it's a very profitable project. And then we've got the moving average here. So the last 10 days is 0.04. 50 days 0.02 and the 100 days 0.01. So like I was mentioning, I think we might get an opportunity to get a cheaper price, but maybe we won't. I think we're in this little zone here. I think, you know, it might bounce back up to the upside, but it's in for this week. I expect it to do well. You know, everything's lining up quite nicely for this project. So do let me know in the comments below, you know, would you swap any of these out for something else? And if so, what would you put in? What would be your 5 picks for this week? Really interested to know. Moving on, so the second pick is going to be Phantom, $2.72 at 676% up for the day. Now, you know, it has just been on a bit of a, you know, an upward sort of motion. Again, this is a project that I've been calling out. I think it's going to do really well. They've just, you know, done an upgrade, which is going to, you know, support with the blockchain trilemma. So, you know, it's going to be more scalable, more secure, and all that sort of wonderful stuff. So for me, you know, we're going to start to see this one really start to pop off. We know there's quite a few people doing a lot of building on Phantom at the minute. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all evolves. So do let me know in the comments below whether you think this is a good project. Obviously, speed, security, scalability with that upgrade, you know, it's fantastic to see them sort of improving the fundamentals of the project. It's fast, high throughput, open source smart contract platform for digital assets and dApps. So do read up on this one. Do think it's really good. The artificial intelligence has it as a B1. I do expect this to improve over the week. It's up 24.97%. 𝗕𝗢𝗪 ratio is A2. The profitability is A1. It's very profitable. Sharp ratio A2. The fear and greed is D, and this is what's really pulling it down. Everything else looks absolutely pucker, and you know, I do expect the fear to become more greed as time goes on throughout the week. So expect this one to pop to the upside. Really interested to see how it all performs. Love the project. So do dig into it. Right, moving on. Multivac, so it's up 14.14% at 0.02194. I can see this one reaching an all-time high this week. I really do think it's going to push for it. Do let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with me on this one. They're going to be having their NFT drop probably this week. So, you know, if it's not this week, it's going to be the next week that it really does sort of push on, I feel. Fantastic staking rewards that are up for, you know, up for grabs, and I think they've got over 3 billion staked now, which is just remarkable considering how much is actually in circulation. So this one, if you're not aware, I mean, we've probably one of the first people to talk about this project. So it's all dimensional sharding, blockchain trilemma flexibility, high throughput. So we're going to have the NFT drop very shortly, and you know, really looking forward to smart contracts and all that wonderful stuff that is yet to come. So it's going to be fantastic to see how this one improves. Let's have a look at advice.io. It's got it as a B1. Again, I expect this to change, moving up throughout the week. Up 17.36% for the week, which is fantastic. Fear and greed is D at the moment, and that is what is pulling it down. Sharp ratio A2, and then the 𝗕𝗪𝗪 ratio A2, moving average A2, excuse me, profitability is A1, and rest assured, the people that got in when we first started talking about this project are very, very wealthy and happy, I would imagine. Moving on. So I mentioned that I was going to keep this one in NPX. We've already covered, you know, the reasons why I'm having it in this week. Sorry, still under the weather. It's an algorithmic crypto finance project, so do dig into it. Looks really good, good team, all that sort of wonderful stuff. Again, not going to sort of deep dive it, but the artificial intelligence is the reason why I'm staying on it. So A2 saying it's up, right, and it's up 36.57 for the week. Now, if you look at the chart in here, this is, you know, kind of, you know, the reason why I'm saying it's 22% down is because of the time of recording more than anything, right? Actually, there's points within the week where you would have made a very, very juicy, you know, increase in your profits, right? If you were looking to trade on this one. So fear and greed index is A1, highest it can possibly be. Sharp ratio is A2. The peak end value is A2, and the profitability is at A1. Again, you don't get any higher than that. So if you're trading this one, looks like a solid one. Buy when it's down, sell when it's up. But ultimately, I want to leave it in because I think it's going to do well. Moving on to the fifth and final project, that'd be Chainlink at $29.78, down 3.39%. I think this is just a fantastic buying opportunity. Obviously, it's Oracle's securely connect smart contracts with off-chain data and services. Won't get into it too much. Everybody should know what Chainlink is. If you don't, dig into it. It's A2 on the artificial and machine learning, which is up, and its 7-day change is up 8.67%. Again, I think there's some fantastic buying opportunities. Expect this one to do really well. So the AMIAD ratio is A2, the greed and fear index is A2, Sharpe ratio A2, moving average A2, and then we've got profitability A1 and peak end value demand B2. So that is what's sort of pulling this one down a little bit. But overall, a fantastic project that, you know, should really be, in my opinion, in most people's portfolios. So those are my 5 for the week. So we've got 4 out of 5 for last week. Expecting something similar this week. Really interested to see how everything sort of plays out. Do let me know in the comments below, what 5 projects would you have in for this week? Really interested to know. If you want to support the channel and you enjoyed the content, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Tap that bell, select all notifications so you never miss a video. So with all that said, take care and I'll catch you in the next one.